In Portuguese, there is a common phrase, Agora, Inês é morta. It means, now Inês is dead. People say it when it's too late to fix something, when a tragic outcome is already set in stone. But behind this simple saying hides a true story. A story of a love so fierce it defied a kingdom. A murder so brutal it stained the crown. And a king's revenge so horrifying it reached beyond the grave. This is the story of why a court of nobles was forced to kiss the hand of a dead queen. Our story begins in the 14th century in the royal court of Portugal, a time of arranged marriages where love was a luxury and duty was everything. Prince Pedro I was the heir to the throne, and his marriage was already decided. He was to marry Constança, a noblewoman of high standing. But it wasn't his wife who captured the prince's heart. It was her lady-in-waiting, a woman named Inês de Castro. Their romance was immediate, passionate, and completely forbidden. It was a secret whispered in the castle's dark corridors, a fire that threatened to burn down the entire political order. The king, Afonso IV, saw their love not as a romance, but as a rebellion, a threat to the stability of his kingdom. Fate seemed to offer them a chance when Pedro's wife, Constança, died. Now, Pedro and Inês were free to be together. They left the court and started a family, hoping the king's anger would fade with time. It did not. King Afonso saw Inês's growing influence and her children as a direct challenge to his legitimate grandson, the future heir. His council whispered poison in his ear, convincing him that the only way to secure the throne was to eliminate the source of the problem. One day, while Prince Pedro was away on a hunting trip, the king made his move. He sent 3 assassins to the monastery where Inês lived with her children. They found her, and despite her pleas for mercy, they carried out the king's brutal order. When the news reached the king, he is said to have uttered the cold, final words that would echo through history. Agora, Inês é morta. Now, Inês is dead. It was done. It was too late. When Prince Pedro returned, his grief was biblical. It was a storm of sorrow that quickly hardened into a cold, unbreakable desire for revenge. He waged a civil war against his own father, the king. The kingdom bled, but Pedro's rage could not be satisfied. Not yet. 2 years later, King Afonso died, and Pedro ascended to the throne. His first act as king was not to pass laws or meet dignitaries. It was to hunt down the men who had murdered the love of his life. He found 2 of them. Their punishment was a spectacle of cruelty. He had their hearts torn from their chests while they were still alive. But even that was not enough. His ultimate revenge was for Inês herself. King Pedro revealed a shocking secret. He claimed he had secretly married Inês years before. This made her posthumously the rightful Queen of Portugal, and a queen deserves a coronation. He ordered Inês de Castro's body to be exhumed from its grave. Her corpse, dressed in the finest royal robes, was placed upon the throne next to his. A crown was placed on her decaying head. And then King Pedro demanded the unthinkable. He commanded every noble in the kingdom, the same men who had plotted against her and watched her die, to approach the throne one by one. He made them kneel and kiss the skeletal hand of their dead queen, swearing their allegiance to a corpse. Conclusion: the legacy King Pedro never remarried. He was buried beside Inês in magnificent tombs he designed himself, placed foot to foot so that on the day of resurrection, the first thing they would see would be each other. Today, the story remains a dark jewel in Portugal's history. A tale of how a king's love refused to die and how his vengeance created a legend. And so, the next time you hear someone say, Agora, Inês é morta, you will know the truth. You will know that behind the simple phrase, it's too late, lies the chilling story of a murdered love and a queen who was crowned after death.